I've played around with every single class in solo blocks leveling in a solo dungeon, and now I'm going to show you a tier list of the best classes to solo dungeons. We're going to start off from the top with healer. Now, this is kind of absurd. I do want you to know that this could change based on, once the game is fully released and stuff like that, or they could just like completely nerf healer. I guess I feel like they should, honestly. It is crazy. I'll demonstrate it in a second. We're going to be running C rank dungeons for all of these. Now, I did play about 3 dungeons with each class, so yeah. My gear isn't exactly the greatest for everything because I kind of main tank, but I did accidentally delete my mythical tank weapon, so I'm rocking a level 30 tank weapon, so it's more balanced, kind of. Um, yeah, we're rocking a little bit of decent gear here. The bracelets, necklace, the ring, they're all decent. These 3 armor pieces are bought from the shop. This weapon's okay. And then the boots, they're decent-ish. I think they were level 30. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not rocking great gear for this, but healer's still the best class that I've used. As you can see here, the heals do damage, so I can just heal myself real quick. And I'm also like already almost back at full health, which I find crazy. Another thing I want to mention, you don't even have to upgrade your health points as a healer, because if you upgrade your intelligence, it increases your health, which is absurd. So great. And so I do want to quickly show off the stat points I'm using for this. We got 295 in intelligence. I'm a level 89 by the way. 50 in agility. 59 in physical. I meant to put 60, but I accidentally put 16 in magical, which I usually put 15. And mana points I have 25 in. So I mean, ready to see how cracked this is? Dude, so you do some crazy damage with that, that, and that. And then, heck, you could even cheese this boss. You could actually cheese either boss. I think this one works a bit better, though. Yeah, all you gotta do is this, and bam. I can solo this now so easily. I mean, I could have soloed it before, but now it's just even easier. You do have to back up a little, like you can't be on the edge right there. I don't know if doing that does any damage. Nope. That did a little, and that does a little. But, yeah. So if you're up here, you can only use 5 and 6. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly solo this boss, and I'll see you in the next class, because that's gonna be Archer. Yeah, because Archer's insane, too. Alright, now we are in Archer. We did finish that dungeon off very easily, because we were cheating it. As you can see here, I've got the stats mostly the same. You got 25 in mana, but I accidentally put 26. 25 in health. 15 in magical defense, but I accidentally put 14 because I put 26 there. 60 in physical defense. 50 in agility, accidentally put 21. And then the rest in strength. That's my personal opinion on how to do it. But I mean, you can do it however. And for the gear, got same stuff here. A very bad bow, just to prove like how good Archer is. And then the only thing that's not store-bought is the gloves, and they're level 60. They're not great, but I mean, they really get the job done, which I mean, you really don't even need gear as an archer, in my opinion. Like, that's how insane it is. As you see here, we're whooping them without abilities. It does so much damage. The range is incredible. As you can see, 647 damage per hit. That's with a bad bow, too. This bow only does 21 physical damage. So it's crazy. I mean, Archer is just that good. If we were to have like a good bow, I think some of them do upwards of like 300 physical damage. We would probably be doing 700, 800 damage because of it. just group all these up. And I mean, we don't have to use abilities for this, but I'm going to, just to show how, like, absurd it is. Okay, let's group all these guys up. I wanted to get all of them. There we go. Yeah, almost all of them dead immediately. For one ability. There we go, we leveled up. We can put a little bit more into strength, you know, finish this boss even faster. Now, the only reason Archer is not number 1 is because Healer can heal itself. And that's incredible. Definitely necessary. Yeah, that's like the only reason though. If Archer could heal itself, oh my gosh. Easy number 1. Now for this, we can just cheat it too, which is what I'm going to do. We're going to figure out, you know, what abilities it can hit from here. Should be all of them. Yep. Heck yeah. This is crazy, dude. See, we can just do this and, you know, easiest boss of our life. I mean, it's comical. Now, I do want to say we are 6 minutes into the video. Not that long, but I don't plan on making this video super long. So, if you have made it this far, I do ask that you please subscribe because, you know, most people that do watch these videos aren't subscribed. So please subscribe, helps me out a ton. My goal is 1,500 by the end of February. Yes, it is February. I know, that's crazy. It's February 4th at the time of recording this. I swear, like, last week it was December, but it wasn't. So yeah, I'm way behind in time, but that's not important. So yeah, I do ask that you please subscribe. Comment what kind of videos you want me to make on this game. Like, you want more opinion-based videos, or you want like just straight up raiding dungeons with parties? Do you want me to like go live, help carry people? All that, because I will totally do that. I've got myself a little bit of a guild too, so if you want to join that, the link is in the description for my Discord server for the guild and my main channel Discord server, which they're both separated. You can figure out which one is which. It'll tell you. I say you please join both of those if you can. Even if you're already in a guild, you should join it. Get a great server. Not very much of a community right now though, because there's not many people. But yeah. And please do like the video as it helps me out a ton. And you know, let's get on with the next class after I finish this raid. Which the next class is Earth Mage. Because I mean all the mages are both. All the mages are very good, but Earth Mage is just simply the best. Um, its range is crazy. Like, absolutely absurd. And it's honestly made me kind of consider switching to Earth. Because it's absurd. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you when I get that dungeon in. Alright, we're in another C rank dungeon, this time as a Earth Mage. Now, a lot of the mages that there's only 3, so I say a lot, but all of them, they're all kind of like very balanced with each other. The only reason why Earth is better than the other two is because of its range and its somewhat higher damage. I mean, it's not that much higher. For that reason only, I'm not going to show all of them. I'm just going to do Earth Mage, and then we're going to move on to the next class, which would be not going to be revealed yet because I'm not that kind of guy. But as you can see there, I mean, we just one-shot all of them with our 6th ability as an Earth Mage because Earth Mage is incredible. Again, the other 2 mages, they're like just as good, but they don't have as much range, and I feel like their damage is a little lower. The other 2 are fire and ice, if you're wondering. Now, fire, I don't know if it does have like a effect, but if it does, then it would be better than ice, and if it doesn't, then they're just about equal, honestly. Now, the Earth Mage and all the mages really, they're all kind of just like Archer, but with different abilities, and I think they do a little less damage than Archer. I'm not sure though. I also do think the range is a little higher. Again, don't know. Don't quote me on that. So, but yeah, Earth is definitely the best out of the 3. And again, for mages, you can cheese the boss. This boss in specific. just this boss. Now I do believe that ability doesn't work yet. And so we're gonna get straight on to killing this boss. Shouldn't take long because Earth Mage is pretty good. For my stats, real quick, I have 300 in intel, 25 in mana, 15 in magical defense, 60 in physical defense, 50 in agility, and again, just put the rest into intel because that's what increases your damage as a mage or a healer. Now, I don't think you really need to have that much health as a mage because you're always like, kind of ranging things. You're at a range, is what I mean. So you don't really need that much health. So I just don't increase the health because it naturally increases by level. And then for gear, I have a level 55 staff, and that's the only good thing, I believe. No, I have a level 60 chest piece. And then these two are store-bought right here, and then this is level 30 boots. They're just epic. And then, of course, I've got my necklace, bracelet, and ring, which are all fairly decent. Not great, though. So, I'll see you when we're at the next class, which is going to be Tank. Because, I mean, Tank does suck at soloing, but you can solo with Tank. It's not exactly the greatest method of soloing, but I mean, you can definitely do it. Um, More on that once I'm there. Alright, so now we're running a Tank. And I do main Tank for anyone who doesn't know. So my gear is a little bit better than like my other classes. So let's quickly go over the stats. Got 25 in mana. My general rule for mana is have at least 25 in there. Magical defense 20, physical defense 70, agility 50. Again, general rule for agility, either have 50 or 100. Either of them work. 100 is way better. And then strength, just put the rest in that. The reason you don't want to put stats into health is because when you increase your strength, you increase your defenses. And so it's kind of like the healer thing where you increase your intelligence, increase your health, except defenses. And it helps a ton. Now, tank is way better when you're doing raids with a party. But I mean, it also works for solo. It's not great, but it's definitely better than, in my opinion, it's better than assassin, swordsman, and warrior, which we're going to get into next. And you'll see why. Now, tank, it takes a lot less damage, so that's great. And then it's also got an ability to take even less damage. Again, great. It's not much of a DPS healer, damage per second, for anyone who doesn't know. But it does, get a bit of the job done with its damage. It's not amazing. Now my damage is kind of low because I'm rocking a level 30 weapon. As again, I did mention the tragedy where I accidentally deleted my level 60 mythical weapon. That was so sad. But I mean, it's fine. Okay, we cleared that with tank is pretty good with like multiple enemies. It doesn't really have like a, I guess nobody really has a one person attack. It's all attacking multiple people. But I mean, it's got 5th and 6th abilities, which both attack like at large scale, and then 1, 2, and 3 all deal damage in like a straight line. 2 is kind of like circular, I guess, not really. But I mean, the sad thing about tank is that the 1st and 6th ability both do the same amount of damage. So all the 6th ability is just the 1st ability just with like a lot bigger range. And I mean, it's okay, but it's sad because it's missing out so much with that. Now, the way I'm kind of scaling this tier list is how easily I was able to solo the dungeons, and that's at C rank. Of course, healer and archer, they were very easy. The mages, they were okay. I did test them all, and that's why I say that Earth Mage is the best out of the 3. So, like, I do actually know as a fact that Earth Mage is the best, and then Ice and Fire are kind of tied. I would say Fire's maybe above Ice in, like, range, I guess. But I'd have to check again, as it was earlier that I did all that testing. anyways, yeah, tank. It was the last class that I used that was able to solo a dungeon, a C rank dungeon at least. So from here on out, after this tank review-ish kind of thing, I'm probably not gonna be able to solo the dungeons, which is kind of sad. But it's fine because we're rocking, I guess. I need to group these two up. It's gonna take too much time if I don't. But yeah, so tank is it's fairly decent. Again, it doesn't do much damage, but it tanks damage, given the reason it's named tank. And my gear, I think I did mention it. This is the only store-bought thing, my chest piece. As you can see, I have a lot of assassin daggers. Just kind of been collecting them while I go through these gates, because I had none to begin with. Now, tank is the class that I main, so I mean, that kind of changes my opinion on it, but it's fine. I should be able to solo this because this is the dungeon that I was doing before, and I was able to solo it with tank. So, I mean, if I don't play it safe, which I'm probably not going to, I'm probably just going to let this end quickly. As you can see, I did not perfect block there, but I only took 635 damage. And that's not that much. I mean, a lot of other classes, they'll take a bit more damage, and then I'm taking 738 with those attacks because I didn't have my damage reductor activated, which great ability, but I mean, it's not as good as it should be, in my opinion. I think it should take away a lot more damage. You should just be completely tanking everything, stuff like that. Or maybe like every block is a perfect block, so blocking just does everything for a little bit. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna let myself die because I don't feel like soloing this again, but just know it can solo it at least at level 89, or I would sold it at like 88, I think. Probably. I need to let myself just die. But yeah, so tank, very good. There are better, again, mages and archer and healer, all better. Let's get on to warrior. Right now we're getting to a point where all the classes are kind of just equal in strength. Now that's because warrior, assassin, and swordsman are all melee DPS. So they're okay, but I mean for soloing, they're not great. You should really go for healer or something of the sort. Now, swordsman and warrior kind of play the same, and they have very similar abilities in my opinion. So I'm not going to be playing with swordsman, I'm just going to be showing off warrior. Then we'll go on to assassin. Now, these are all very equal, but I put them as warrior being above the other two, then assassin coming next, and then swordsman being last. The main reason I have swordsman last is because it's got like mid-tier range, and I mean when I say mid-tier range, I mean for melee. Now, of course, low range would be assassin, and then it doesn't do like much damage, and then just the abilities aren't that great. Now, warrior, it's got pretty good range. For melee, it's very good. And then in general, it's just okay. And then the abilities, they're pretty good. I'll show off one in a second. The greatest one, and then we've got that little slice. I think that little slice thing does cut them on, like set them on fire. So that's really good. And I don't really know though. I have to figure that out. But I mean, it does shoot off like a fire trail. So, I mean, if it sets them on fire, that's actually insane. But I have no clue. Guess we'll figure that out right now. It does not. But that's fine. Yeah, so, in my opinion, Warrior is the best out of those three. That's for soloing though. I mean, I also don't have like great gear for it. It's all level 30, I think. Now, the sword is a level 55, but it's also a common, so. And then, for stats-wise, 25 in mana, 25 in health, 15 in magical defense, 60 in physical defense, 50 in agility, and then the rest in strength. That's about, the best you can do for this, in my opinion. You want to have a little bit of extra health and mana, so, you always got to put in that little bit. And then for the sprinting and stuff, 50 agility. Then a little bit of defense, because, your armor does cover defense, but you can still take a lot of damage. Like, as you see here, I'm taking, like, 532 damage per hit, and that's with the armor and the defense buffs. Now, the main reason I always put physical defense way higher than magical defense is because there's not many mobs that do magical damage. So yeah. But as I was saying earlier, assassin, swordsman, and warrior, they all kind of have the same strength, I guess. So yeah. Now, I just think warrior is the best out of the three, but they're all very equal. Very balanced. It's kind of like mages, except way worse. So we're going to group all these up, and then I'll show you the sixth ability if you haven't seen it, which it's pretty good. Yeah, it's okay. As you can see here, though, I can wipe these pretty easily. Once again, we're going to let ourselves die, because this is one of those ones where I just, couldn't beat the boss. I probably could if I really were to, be safe about it, but just straight up, fighting it, you're definitely going to die as a warrior, in my opinion. Maybe not if you were, level 200. You could probably solo B rank at that point as warrior, but I don't really know. Warrior's not great. It's a lot better in a party. Kind of like tank, except tank is better in my opinion, just in general, because of, the damage reduction and all that. Doesn't do as much damage, but that's fine. Now, we're gonna see here, this fifth ability, I'm pretty sure it's a buff. I think it makes us do more damage. So, showing that off. And yet, as you see here, we're about to die. But as I was talking about earlier with, the tank, I was only taking, 700 damage per hit. I'm taking double that. Almost double, but not exactly double. Yeah. So, Warrior's not great. We're going to move on to Assassin because that's the next one up, and then we're going to end it there. Right, we're in the Siri dungeon as an Assassin now. Now, this is number 8 on the tier list. Again, though, Assassin, Swordsman, and Warrior are all about the same. So, they're not, too different from each other, and as of that, their strengths are pretty similar. The classes themselves are pretty different. I don't have great gear for Assassin. Now, the only reason I would say Assassin is above Swordsman and maybe even Warrior, I don't know for sure though, is because of its crowd control. As you just saw, I took out all of those with these two abilities. Crazy crowd control. All of its abilities hit insane amounts of enemies. Now, the damage itself isn't great, in my opinion. As you can see, 534 per hit. Now, for the stats wise, I use the same build as I do for Warrior, Archer, and Swordsman. So, rocking what I'm rocking with wow, that was that was a tongue twister. Rocking with what I'm rocking with wow, okay. 25 mana, 25 health, 15 magical defense, 60 physical defense, 50 agility, and 280 strength. The rest just goes into strength, as I've been doing. Then gear, I'll show you in a second. But as you see here, crowd control, just absolutely incredible. Now, the only thing is, Assassin, you do have to be kind of close to the enemies, so you do take a lot of damage. And that's another reason why Assassin's not above Warrior, in my opinion. Warrior's got that good range, and, so does Swordsman. It's a lot better than the Assassin. But, the crowd control on Assassin is just so good that it's gotta be above Swordsman. And then, Warrior's just, slightly above it. But they're all very equal when it comes to strength. So, yeah. Anyways, we are nearing the end of the video, and I know I said this, at the 6-minute mark or something. So, if you have made it this far, please do subscribe, dude. It helps me out a ton. We are on the road 100, and that is the goal by the end of the month. Would help me out a ton if you did subscribe, because again, the goal is 1,500 by the end of the month. Now, I did say this in the last video. I haven't mentioned this in this video because if you've stuck around this far, then you've really enjoyed the video. But if if you were 7 minutes in, you were probably just watching the tier list. Let's be real. So I'm gonna mention it now. Once I hit 1,500 subscribers, I'm gonna do a karaoke stream. Now, you may say, "Oh, that sounds boring," but let me tell you, I suck at singing, so it's gonna be hilarious. Everyone's gonna have so much fun, I guarantee it. I'll even go into like a voice chat and we can all sing karaoke together. Because why not? And this freaking idiot's trying to run away. Because what kind of loser doesn't try to run away from the worst assassin in the game? Now, I do want to say that a lot of people are going to be picking assassin like right when they start because of Sung Jin Woo. They want to be like Sung Jin Woo. You were nothing like Sung Jin Woo in this game as an assassin. Honestly, you might as well just be a mage because Sung Jin Woo is not out here throwing little slashes and a shuriken. Because yes, one of the moves for assassin is throwing a shuriken. I know, it's kind of sad. Um, you are not going to be Sung Jin Woo in this game. You might as well just be a mage, or an archer, or a healer, or a tank. Those are the three best classes. That's a lot more than three. That was like 7. But yeah, as you can see here, we did like about 10,000 damage to the boss pretty quickly. But that's not a lot because this is a C rank boss, and it's about to whoop us. We're taking like 2,000 damage per hit. Yeah, no, we can barely manage. But yeah, that's the end of the video. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe, like, comment, any suggestions you want to be seen, like anything you want me to do on the game if you haven't played the game yet. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Make sure you follow this tier list. But do remember, it can change.